Pooh so mad cause he can do it like me. Pooh stay mad cause he sippin' that tea. Pooh so mad can't get it like me. Wanna ride out with lovely. When you see me coming to the DKHizouse, you all lit and you know what we're talking about. When you see me coming, step in, step out. When you see me, we gon' run our mile. It's the DKHizouse for sure. You see me coming and I'm coming back for more. When you see me and I see you, we at the gears out. We do. Alright, so Queen Naija dropped some new music and put it on the scene or whatever. And she was asking her fans how they feel about it and so forth. And a lot of people had a lot of things to say. Some people were saying that she seemed to be talking about somebody. Clarence had her on this like question Q&A asking about the video and so forth and so on. And he pretty much was making sure that trying to find out who she was talking about. So we're going to get into that as we move forward. So I know I heard the songs a while back and I was like, when she was giving snippets, and I was like, oh, that's pretty nice, pretty decent. But one of the songs I remember, and it was like, I miss you. Something like that. Like, I miss what we had. I miss you. Something like that. And the lyrics, I'm thinking to myself, who's she missing? Now keep in mind, she did make a disclaimer in her video with Clarence. And she said that just because she makes songs, it doesn't necessarily have to do with anybody in her life. Which is true. If you're an artist, you're supposed to just make music. And if you're an artist, you make music that people can relate to. So anyway, she drops the song, and the first thing that comes to my mind is she talking about her ex? And I only know her to have one ex-husband at that, and that was Chris. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, it's not even funny while I'm laughing. I'm gonna tell y'all in a minute. Give me a second. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I was thinking that she was talking about Chris or whatever, and I was like, oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because for the longest, I felt like Chris wanted Queen Naija, but Queen Naija was stuck on Clarence and stuck on the fact that Chris was cheating or whatever, allegedly. So I feel like she was way past that and she was focused on Clarence because, to be honest, Clarence is a little bit more well kept, like groomish. Like, I'm not saying it's like anything wrong with not being, because I'm really not real groomed. So what he is, just like Leslie was kind of more well groomed than. Anyway, okay, so Clarence is more prim and proper. Let me say that. Chris is more so just laid back, chill, goofball, have fun, do whatever. And I felt like Queen Naija was more like that when she was with Chris. So they kind of complimented each other. And if you don't know, Chris wifed Queen Naija up, actually. Which kudos to Chris for doing that, because he had a baby by her and he wifed her up. Sure enough, he was young, dumb, and I feel like the main reason that he was cheating is because he probably wasn't expecting to have a baby so soon, and he wanted to explore his wild oats and stuff like that. Plus, the fame was getting to him. But do I think he had feelings for Queen Naija? Of course. If anything, they were really good friends. They had really good chemistry. So much so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so, if you know me, which you probably don't, I'm very visual. Like, I would just get stuff to pop in my head when I make comments. Like, I'm sorry. So what I was visualizing and thinking about was the fact that, oh, what was I talking about? Okay, I was basically talking about the fact that Chris and Queen were like really, really, really good friends and stuff like that. And I was saying so much so that even Clarence picked up on their chemistry. And that's why he did a whole series on Chris. That's why I was laughing. I'm sorry. Cause y'all remember that? Y'all remember that Clarence was going ham on Chris for a minute through his reaction channels, and then he went hush mouth when Leslie got with Chris, and we was all wanting him to make videos about it. So I had to bring that up. So that's what I was laughing at. Okay, so y'all have to excuse me. And I was laughing at something else a while ago. I'm gonna get into it. Give me a second. So anyway, Queen Naija basically was married, and I feel like she's at a. I'm sorry. I feel like she's at a point right now. I'm going to hell. Well, shit. I'm probably already in here right now. Let me stop. But I'm going to heaven soon, so we'll be good. So anyway, anyway, so I just feel like she's at a point right now, which is very sad that she wants more from her relationship. I'm sorry. And that's mostly because I don't know if Clarence is willing to get married. And let me be clear, I'm not a person that feels like I have to get married, even though I have several people that probably want to marry me right now. You know, it's not like a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get a relationship, unless it's my person that I truly, you know, am really, really for, like, I can see myself marrying. And, like, I feel like I may have possibly meet that person, or in the future I'll meet that person. So I would probably considering marriage because I'm so picky. I'm like, well, actually I've been married before, let me stop, but I wasn't right. I'm sorry. So the fact that I married the wrong people and knew I married the wrong people, don't get me wrong, I knew the people was wrong for me. I just wanted to be married. So that's why I really don't really care too much about marriage, because I was so wanted to be married that I married the wrong people just to say that I was married, and I was in hell. I was miserable. So it's not worth it to me if you're not with the right person. But I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I have met that person or am going to meet that person. So I have more company, because I feel like I wasn't gonna meet that person till like in my 40s and 50s. So if you feel you don't know, I am actually in my 40s. So, but yeah, still body on fleek. Yeah. So I feel like it's taking so long, but it's still in that time frame where I feel like I would actually meet somebody I compliment. And the crazy part is I knew this person in my past that's really, really, really piquing my interest. And to be honest, that person had talked about marriage when I was younger, and they talked about it in my, you know, as I've gotten older, which is very unique because I wasted all that time with all these dudes. Anyway, it's not about me. It's not about me. And the funny part is, I still been giving this person a hard time. That's the funny part years later, because I'm obviously not in school anymore. Anyway, so yeah, it's just refreshing to know that people is good people still in the world. I'll say that. And sadly enough, you overlook good people sometimes. So yeah, I feel like Queen Naija is ready to get married or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know if Clarence is in that mode. I feel like he feels comfortable being girlfriend, boyfriend. And to be honest, if I had met a person that really I could see myself being with, I would be comfortable with girlfriend, boyfriend too. Unless they just checked out all my boxes, unless they were just good, just like overall. But even then, it's still a tricky subject. Like I said, I've been married before. So with that being said, I just feel like maybe she just wants that. Okay. So with that being said, I feel since she may or may not get it, even though I think Clarence proposed, I heard, but obviously I guess not if she's worried, you know. But just keep in mind, just because a person proposes to you, it doesn't mean they're going to marry you. I'm sorry. And a lot of people have been engaged for 6 years, 10 years. And some people will give you a ring just so you'll stop asking them. So you really have to make sure you have your boundaries up and you know what you want and so forth and so on and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's crazy because, yeah. So hopefully, she'll get what she wants and Clarence get what they want. But if you don't know, if you haven't watched some of their videos, they apparently have been having ups and downs. Allegedly, maybe not, but that's the impression that I get. Because it's just a different vibe, and they also haven't been uploading that much, and there's a reason for that, and that's very sad and that's unfortunate. And I didn't even really know Queen Naija is a Libra. I'm a Libra. And we kind of be contemplating stuff in our head before we make moves and stuff, and we gonna definitely wait. But it's like when we done, we done. You know what I'm saying? Like, we give people chances. So I feel like she's just trying to see where their relationship is gonna go. But in the song that she did recently about people putting babies in you and not want to marry you, I'm sorry, I definitely did give Clarence vibes. Clarence vibes. But at the same time, it's like, and then he just recently went on a trip, even though I haven't even watched the video with him and Kai and everybody, which is probably a good business move, and I'm not surprised he went oil, and even though DG is mad that Kai didn't invite him, but to be honest, I feel like it was more like respect. Like, I feel like he didn't want DDG to like slip up and he got Holly or whatever. But I feel like he maybe didn't care so much about Clarence because he know that. Anyway, maybe he thinks Clarence on a different time. Maybe not. I don't know. He ain't watched nobody else yet, so I don't know. But like I said, I don't feel like you have to be married to be with your person. I don't feel like that's a necessity. As long as you know that you're good. So, but the baby situation, I feel like if you have babies and kids, yeah, you might as well. Like, I don't have no kids. So it's like, I don't really care. So, if I had kids, yeah, I probably would do the family thing. Okay, so yeah, that's how I'm always been mindful of who I have kids with. Thankfully, I've been able to not have any. So yeah, okay. So at the end of the day, it's just very unfortunate because I had been speculating that there was trouble in paradise maybe a year ago. It was around the time, let's see if I can remember. It was a while back. I forgot. I think it was about a year ago, but it was just giving those vibes or whatever. But they had came back together. They started doing videos, and then they changed their name back to the Royal Family. I think it was around that time when they changed their name, and then they started doing videos. So every relationship has its ebbs and flows, especially when you're not with that person for you. But the good thing is that lets you know. I'm sorry. That lets you know that that's not the person that you need to marry. I'm sorry if you having ups and downs with a person and you having ebbs and flows with a person, because definitely you probably gonna get worse if you get married to them. So count your blessings if y'all are already having problems. The last thing you want to have is marriage. So with that being said, I know Chris and Queen Naija, when they were married, I just felt like they were just young, and Chris, like I said, was just feeling himself because of the fame. I feel like he probably wouldn't do that now because I really feel like he has strong feelings for Queen, and he even said that. And then he also is so crazy to see her glow up. But if you do remember when they had their videos, they had chemistry. They were both the same goofballs, the same level of goofiness. Totally opposite for Clarence. So Queen Lily had to change who she was to an extent to be with Clarence. It was just so allegedly unreal. Like, she's definitely a different person. And Clarence recently did just say that on his Q&A. He's like, you are a very entertaining person. But with Queen, he said she's trying to change. And she said, yeah, she's grown up. It's really not that. It's just like who you're around. You know what I'm saying? Like, Clarence is definitely not the goofball type. But he just like laugh and stuff because he be laughing, say stuff, I be laughing at the time. But anyway, so at the end of the day, I think the songs were good, and I like the fact that she talked about different people's perspectives. And just because she was doing the song, it definitely does not mean that she was talking about any other people in her life. But I do feel like it's definitely something inside that women can relate to, because there's plenty of women out here getting babied up and not married. Like, it's all everywhere. That's one reason why I was too scared. And I was praying every time to make sure I get pregnant by somebody who actually is feeling me. That was part of my prayer, like my Sierra prayer. Like, I'm not trying to get apparently works. Like, I don't know if no, you're not, I didn't do that. Okay, but I was just basically like saying I didn't want to get married unless, pregnant by somebody if they just want to use me. And so it never happened, thankfully. And I dodged a lot of bullets. But I just feel so, my heart goes out to people who have got caught up in relationships and have kids by people that they're no longer with. Like, my heart does go out to them. Because that can be definitely probably nerve-wracking. And of course, we have enough broken homes. It's always good to have kids grow up in the homes of their family. Now, what we don't want to happen is just the fact that Clarence does not want to separate. Then he'll be forced to marry. That's not a good reason to marry anybody just because you're thinking that y'all have run their course. Now, that's what I don't want. Because henceforth, they have been engaged. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. So that's that. So I do kind of feel like the songs were from places that she has been in her life. Whether she's there or still or not, I don't know. But another thing that just really set home with me, even though they are getting a new place, so I don't know. But the last video where he was questioning her and everything, it was definitely giving me some vibes like, I don't know, I was a little worried for her. But it's not nothing that I've been not knowing that was gonna happen or been not seeing, because I just feel like I can't say that, but I just say this. I just feel like some vibes were off, and I could see her anxiety a little bit coming back. You know how she was really going through a time where she felt like she was having anxiety. It seemed like I was feeling like it was coming back, and I really hated to see that for her. But you're gonna be good, and if you wanted to go back to Chris today, he probably would take you back, just so you know. But the question is Chris willing to take that route? You know, because I know Clarence apparently be talking about he got a blocky and come back for the woman that he wants. Because if she did say that she wants him back and misses him, will he be willing to do that? Because I really feel like she's at a place where I feel like she can't do it herself. But, I feel like she would be willing to do it and maybe get remarried. You know what I'm saying? But not saying she would be, because I'm just a spectator and I'm just giving my thoughts and my opinion. But would Chris be willing to go for the woman he claims to love? And I guess for any woman, if you feel like you had something with somebody and they actually married you, that's a good feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, because marriage, some people don't marry just anybody, you know? Some people do, because I did, kind of, but not really. But it was just like, anyway, so, but some people really just marry people because they really want to spend the rest of their life with them. You know, me, I'm just not that committal type, so, some of my longest relationships were like 1 month and I break up and get back together, but that's just me. That's why I said I was surprised with DDG and Ruby Rose. Like, I cut people off like the seasons, and then I get back with them. But I've matured, so I wouldn't do that now, because life is worth treasuring. But at that time, I was kind of selfish. At that time, I wasn't on that time. So I just, I'm just sending my prayers to Queen Naija. Hopefully she's good. Hopefully she's okay. You're safe. You're good. You are well in whatever decision you make. And I could definitely see her and Chris back together. I almost laughed because wouldn't it be so crazy? Clarence did all those videos about Chris, and what if she end up back with him if he doesn't make that step? But maybe not, So don't, just because Clarence may want to marry you as soon as, maybe he sees a video like this or whatever, this video, that doesn't mean you're going to be happy. So you need to decide who you want to be with and what you want to do. But I know right now you're choosing to be with Clarence and his relationship. And like I said, I don't know if that trip with all those guys and all on that boat had anything to do with it. Because, our boys will play. But, I feel like she's just trying to, just see where things go. And I feel like the songs was just It's just a song that people could actually relate to. Like I said, a lot of people are missing people because it's a love song, and a lot of people are let's see. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing in just a second. Give me a second. A lot of people get babies put in them without a ring, and that's very, very common, unfortunately. So the reason I was laughing is, hold on. So of course, I gotta come back to that. I got cut off. Technical difficulties, but and I forgot what I was going to say. But unfortunately, yes, the videos do not have to be about any of the people she's currently with, or I'm sorry, not with. And Clarence is very keen. Like, he picks up on kind of like things sort of like me, but not, I mean, he may be above me at this point. I mean, he's with Queen, of course. So it's just like, he kind of, I think, feels the way that it was about him. So that's why he did the video. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like he kind of knows she was kind of capping, even though she probably wasn't capping. But it was, I'm sure that's kind of like what he was thinking a little bit. But she did say that he did cancel, and the people in her song was talking about not canceling. But I feel like he probably stopped canceling, but maybe he's still going. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you find somebody who loves you for you, be with that person. Because so many times we want to stay with the toxic people that don't even give us half of what we want to give to them. So anytime you find somebody who wants to be with you, be with that person. Especially if you're attracted to that person, y'all vibe together. And Queen and Clarence's channel is about content. And they're not producing content. And it makes people wonder how solid their relationship actually is. Well, actually, just me, I don't know. Maybe everybody else. Because they're not producing content on their joint channel. So it's kind of like giving the impression that maybe things are not that solid in TV land. But who knows? I'm just a bystander, innocent bystander. I'm sorry, but I gotta go right now. We come to you, but I gotta go right now. You're still my friend, but you gotta come again. Still a long time with me, friend. Until next time, stay a little, stay alive. Until next time, stay such a guy.